We unleash something powerful. We call her the Ghost. She could destroy the world.
I'd love to help you, but I'm under house arrest.
We'll have you home by lunch.
I'm gonna come with you guys.
Hey guys, Chastity and Greg here with our spoiler-filled review of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Now, before we jump into the review, make sure to hit that subscribe button where we got you covered for more TV breakdowns and movie reviews, and we have plenty more on Ant-Man and the Wasp, including a post-credits breakdown.
Before we jump in, be sure to watch the movie first. Go watch it and then come back. There are so many spoilers ahead, so be careful.
Okay, so a little refresher. Scott Lang is approaching the end of his house arrest in San Francisco due to his role in the battle in Civil War. While at home, Scott's feeling some effects from his time in the quantum realm in the first film, and he has a dream about Janet Van Dyne.
I had a dream.
The dream. What do you mean?
I saw the end of everything.
Creeped out, Scott reaches out to Hank Pym. This leads to a race to find Janet in the quantum realm before it's too late. Okay, Chastity, initial reaction, what do you think of the movie?
I was pleasantly surprised. I say that because earlier this year, I saw that Ant-Man and the Wasp was the Marvel film to follow Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War. Those are tough acts to follow, but this movie is hilarious. It's tons of fun from beginning to end. It has a lot of emotion and heart, really good performances, and fun action.
I had a smile on my face the entire time, and just like Mike said in the original review for this film, it is very much a palate cleanser. You're going to hear that a lot. There's no other way to go about this. You just come off of Infinity War, you gotta take it easy. I feel like Marvel told Peyton Reed and everybody, don't screw this up. Just make a fun, lighthearted film, and that's what you get here.
Yeah, and I felt like this was a really strong sequel after an initial origin film. I feel like it was better than Thor: The Dark World, it was definitely better than Iron Man 2, but I feel like it was on par with Guardians 2.
Yes, it's not perfect by any means. In fact, the script is the main culprit for a lot of these problems because it's very templatized. Again, like I said, Marvel they didn't
by
wanna,
numbers. Yeah.
Yes, very by the numbers. But Evangeline Lilly, she's in the title, and she's stellar in this movie too.
She seems more intense.
All right, let's talk about the good. So we both love the humor in this film. I love that the fun, lighthearted tone carried over from the first film right into this one, and I felt it was even more polished. The script was a lot tighter, the jokes were funnier. I loved it.
Humor.
Yes.
The humor, yes.
Humor.
The script was tighter for the humor. Yes.
For the humor.
They took what they had in the first one, they just put it in overdrive.
Yeah.
Even some of the jokes that paid off in the last film, they do it here again, and actually I like most of them. Luis and the gang return.
And then they add in Randall Park, who's a really funny FBI agent who plays really well off of Paul Rudd, and there's this
he's
running
great.
there's this running gag about magic card tricks, and that's just hilarious.
Okay, let's talk about the action. So a movie like this, all I can think of is like it's Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, and all of them combined to make this one on steroids, basically.
Yeah. Like the chase scenes were incredibly fun. They're just constantly changing sizes. It's madness. I love that they had that Hot Wheels set, which is basically just marketing gold because they're going to be selling a bunch of these to kids all year this year. It'll be the big Christmas presents to get the Ant-Man Hot Wheels set.
I love you, Dr. Pym.
Okay, let's talk about the characters for a minute. And right off the bat, this movie's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's really appropriate because it has two Ant-Man and two Wasp in this film.
It sure does, yeah. So speaking of two Ant-Man and two Wasps, I really loved Hank and Janet in this film. Like, Janet's not there that much, but you can feel her presence the entire movie.
Right, yeah, that's true. She's in this maybe for, I want to say like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you feel her presence, and same thing with Hank. Again, the reason I'm here, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Paul Rudd hooked us in with the first movie, and he's even better in this movie. And I really love his relationship with his daughter in the film. It's adorable. It's so cute. I would have killed to have some kind of like cardboard heist playset.
At the very beginning of the movie.
At the very beginning of the movie.
Home Alone,
yes.
where they're going down the stairs.
And they're sliding down the stairs and they crash into the gate. It was adorable. I love that. Such a good dad. Let's keep talking about this amazing cast. So Michelle Pfeiffer is in it for about 10 minutes, but she steals the whole thing.
She's so charming.
Even with such limited screen time, she really sells it when she comes back. And also, I just have to say, when they de-age her, it was amazing. I could not believe my eyes. It was like they were shooting with a young Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, their technology is getting better and better every time they do this.
The audience in the theater were just, all of us were like, whoa. You could hear her go, what? Yeah. It pays off. They're getting better and better at this. What was it last time in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
We saw it. And now this time around, I'm really excited to see what they do with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
With Samuel L. for this 90s version of Nick
Right.
Fury in Captain Marvel. We'll see.
And young Coulson, too.
Ooh, that's right. Okay. Now, Luis, I felt he overstayed his welcome just a little bit at the end. With the humor, I felt like they put in a few too many lines.
Because he was
you're
such a
cutting
fan favorite, yeah.
Yes, he's a fan favorite, but you're cutting into the action at these pivotal moments with the pacing. That was the only issue I had. But overall, he's really funny, and that leads into our best moments.
Yes.
They bring back the lip sync gag.
Which was really funny.
Oh man, I loved it.
I was especially impressed with Evangeline Lilly in that scene, just keeping up with his exact delivery and with the sassiness. So good.
I first met Scotty in Cell Block D, and I was like, I'm Luis. And he says, I'm Scotty, and we're gonna be best friends. Scotty gets out of jail, and that's when he met Hope. Look at my hairdo, I'm all business.
Stan Lee's cameo in this is hilarious. I'm not even joking. This is one of the best Marvel cameos Stan Lee has ever done. He walks up to his car, it shrinks, and he has this great line, and he goes, "The 60s were great, but now I'm paying for it." So good. And then Tim Heidecker of Tim and Eric makes a cameo as a ferry tour guide.
Yes, now I'm a huge fan of Tim and Eric, so when I saw that, I loved it. And the fact is, the payoff here is that he's a tour guide for this ferry in SF, and they think there's a whale, and it's actually Ant-Man. You see a little bit of that in the trailer. But that brings me to my next thing, which is Tim and Eric, Eric Warheim. Eric Warheim would be perfect to direct an Ant-Man movie. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm sorry, Peyton Reed. I love you, but Eric Warheim would be absolutely perfect.
I would love to watch an Eric Warheim directed Ant-Man. That's perfect.
Or Guardians. When James Gunn is done with number 3,
He's not gonna let go of that.
I don't think he is, and I don't want him to. I would love for him to stay around forever in the Marvel universe. But Eric Warheim, give him a movie,
Find something for him to direct.
please. Or at the same time, I love Eric Warheim. Don't waste your time with these Marvel or Star Wars films.
Or make some money and then make more weird shit.
Yes.
And then there's the mid-credits scene, which was pretty big and changed the tone entirely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like they added this in. They obviously added this in
Yes.
later on after production was done for Ant-Man because they didn't want to give out any spoilers. I think Peyton Reed, he talked about this, how he wasn't in the know for anything that happened in Civil War. So I have a feeling it's the same way around for Infinity War. This was done after we saw the film, and they went back and shot this.
It was a real punch in the gut, but basically to summarize, Scott goes back into
Quantum Realm.
the quantum realm, and then they cut back to Hope and Hank and Janet, and they just get dusted.
Yeah. Now, we don't know for certain if it's all 3 of them, but we just saw the dust go in the air. We don't know if maybe Wasp went tiny or something happened right before it. Doubtful.
Maybe, doubtful. I feel like they were implying that all 3 of them got dusted, which sucks because poor Janet just spent 30 years in the quantum realm to only come back and get dusted by Thanos.
She'll be back in Avengers 4.
Probably. And if you're curious about where this movie lies in the timeline because of that post-credits scene, we have a feeling that this movie, that the events of this movie happen before Infinity War, and then some time has passed, and then the post-credits scene happens. But for more clarity, check out this video right here, which breaks down the post-credits scene and the timeline.
Okay, Chastity, let's look into the bad now. Right off the bat, the script. It's got a lot of humor, but it doesn't really have an identity compared to the last MCU films. Even Black Panther, Thor, Infinity War, of course.
Tough acts to follow,
Very
man.
tough acts to follow, so this script is very cookie cutter, by the numbers. Let's not screw this up, guys. So it's extremely basic.
Plays it very safe.
Yes.
Very safe.
Yeah, it's extremely basic character motivations. There really is nothing more to this. When you watch the film, you're like, okay, this person's probably going to turn at some point in the
Very
film.
predictable.
Extremely predictable.
And speaking of cookie cutter, that Walton Goggins character, he's just a villain by numbers, isn't he?
I feel like they cast him now 24/7 just to play that same role.
Yeah, just the smarmy dude that's just looking out for himself and it's like, I'm looking out for number 1, I'm gonna make lots of money. It's like, okay, got it. You're that guy.
Cool. Yeah, there's really no sense of danger in this film whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't feel like anyone was ever in harm's way. I always felt like I knew exactly what was going to happen next, and then it did happen.
Yeah.
So it felt pretty safe the whole way through. But what did you think of Ghost?
Again, no real sense of danger in this film, and when it comes to Ghost, she comes on screen, immediately starts fighting everybody, and you're like, oh, okay, where's this going? And then she disappears. They do the same thing over again. She shows up on screen, kicks, fights, leaves again. And every time she comes back, and when you get her character motivations, this felt very much like every MCU villain you've seen in the past since Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it was like very Phase 1 villain-esque.
A conflicted character whose motivation stems from a devastating incident with their family. This happens all the time. So you know going in like, okay, I don't think she's gonna die. I never thought for a second she was gonna die. Or the only thing I thought might happen is something's gonna happen to Hank.
Right.
I thought, oh, is Hank, I really didn't want anything to happen to Hank. I thought maybe he might die. Ghost might take him out as some kind of revenge. Nothing at all.
Hiya, champ. How was school today?
All right, let's talk about the future of the MCU. So with Ant-Man and the Wasp, at the very end, after the post-credits, it says Ant-Man and the Wasp will return.
Question mark?
2 seconds later, they add a question mark. Ant-Man and the Wasp will return.
I like that.
I like that. It's a very fun tease, but it's like, oh, you got me, Marvel Studios. Good one.
Speaking of that, the mid-credit scene with the snap, I felt like, what if they did that during the part where Janet returns?
That would be so messed
Where they're hugging, everyone's back together. I know, I feel like maybe this is because of the kids, you don't want to do this right then and
Playing
there.
it safe with
That
this movie.
would have been perfect. If they're all together, they get out of the quantum realm, they save her. I thought right then and there, I was like on my chair like, okay, they might just pull it off right now and just do the snap. Nope. That would have been perfect.
That would have been so mean.
That would have been great.
So mean.
Just Hank and Scott are left there, like, what just happened? Like, great.
Or like
Or
Scott's daughter.
I thought that too. I was
That would
scared.
be so mean. I'm glad they didn't do that. Thank you for not doing that. Next, so we saw that Scott is trapped in the quantum realm and his backup just got dusted, so who could possibly help him out? Because clearly they need him for Avengers 4. He's gonna make it out. He's gonna help the original Avengers, but who's gonna help him out of there?
Is it Ghost? Is it Dr. Foster?
Both of them combined? Yeah.
I'm assuming it could be one of those two, but at the same time, we have no idea. Maybe he gets out himself somehow, ends up in a different timeline. Tony Stark gets a ping.
Sure. Like they gotta loop them in somehow with
They have
Ant-Man.
to.
So
I'm
someone will help Ghost and Dr. Foster.
I can't imagine they're giving any more time to Ghost or Dr. Foster, though, in the next film. So I have a feeling it's going to be one of the Avengers that gets him out. We'll see.
And I think that they're definitely setting up Scott's daughter, Cassie Lang, to be a hero in the future. Like phase 4, 5, phase 6, somewhere.
Ant-Man family, some kind of Ant-Man
However
family
long
thing.
it takes, yeah, but they're setting her up.
Okay. All right. I hope this
think
isn't
so.
some like Batman Robin scenario.
Yeah, they could just like recast and age her up for a film in phase 4, but we'll see. I think that they're doing that for sure.
Okay. All right, that's it for us over here, everybody. How do you think Ant-Man's going to make it out of the quantum realm? Let us know in the comment section down below.
And also hit us up on Twitter and tell us what you thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm at Chastity_V.
I'm at GregFT155.
And we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.